and welcome back to another episode of the Practice Players Podcast. This is going to be episode 13, and we are thrilled to be joined by Mr. Caleb Samson. So, not going to take up too much time.
What's up, man? What's up? What's going on? How y'all doing?
Yes, sir. So we're gonna let Caleb sort of explain his basketball journey and how he got to Illinois.
So a little bit about me. Originally, I'm from New York and moved down to Florida when I was in high school or whatever. Played high school basketball. Wasn't like the greatest player ever. Got a chance to play college basketball. I started off at a JUCO. I went to a JUCO in North Carolina. I went to Wake Tech Community College, which was in like Region 10, I think. That was years ago. I feel like I'm getting old. But yeah, started my journey off at Wake Tech Community College. Got a chance to play there for 2 years. Got my AA, then played at Urbana University, Division II in the Mountain East Conference. Got a chance to play there. Graduated from there with my undergrad. Finished my undergrad in criminal justice. And then at that point, that was like that during that COVID time. So I was just like, man, I think I need to jumpstart my career in the coaching. At that point, nobody was hiring nobody. So it was like I'm banging on doors, knocking on doors. So I actually got an opportunity to coach at a NAIA school in Kansas, which was Sterling College. So started off there. My first year there, I started off straight as like an assistant. Like I was out on the road recruiting. I ain't know too much. Obviously, I like talked to mentors and like they gave me guidance and stuff, but I didn't really know nothing for real. So started off there. We had a great year. I think we finished the season like 32-3. Went to the second round of the NAIA tournament. Lost to the team that made it to the national championship. Lost to them by like 2 points, like 2.4 seconds left. So that still haunts me to this day. So went after I finished there, got an opportunity to come be a GA here at University of Illinois for Shauna Green. So here I am now, 2 years later. So tell me a little bit about you guys. Like what's your journey like?
Go ahead, Dave. You can go first.
Yeah, so Nick, Dan, and I, for any new viewers, and for Caleb, all played at Coronado High School together in Henderson, Nevada. Had a lot of fun, had a lot of good teammates and friends come out of that program. And now we're all sort of involved in the basketball world in our own ways. Dan and I are both managers at Oregon and Ohio State, respectively. And then Nick is a walk-on at UNLV, but don't let the manager walk-on title. I'll clamp. Sure. He going 0 for 11, 0 for 12 on me. Don't get it twisted.
Give me one of your favorite high school stories, like from playing, like ones or whatever.
Man, I would think I would say
who used to win the most? Who used to win the most?
Oh, not me, because I didn't grow till my senior year of high school. So when they were seniors and I was juniors, I was like 5'6", chunky. Like they would cook me every single day. But
I mean, I still cook you. I still cook you, but
now it's a little different. Now I actually can compete with them. Before I couldn't compete with them, but now at least I can compete with them.
Define compete.
Yeah, please.
I don't think Nick has room to talk. I don't think Nick has room to talk because last time we played, he did beat me, but 4-3. It was we did a 7-game series. He beat me 4-3.
You're not supposed to tell the public that, man. You're supposed to say, yo, he can't.
It's supposed to. Dan is one of those guys who
Nick can't deny that. Is what I'm saying. Like I'm gonna say it, and Nick's gonna be like, "Yeah, that's true." Because it is
true.
Me, though,
but everybody knows a guy who chucks up threes, and you look and you're like, "How did that go in?" Like that's Dan. That's how he scores. That's honestly like when we would play ones. That's like one of the like the main things that we did. We would always play ones. I would say one of my favorite stories is when we all got to be in a room together. Because we only had 1 year together with all three of us and our good friend Max. We all got to be in a room together. That was one of my favorite trips. We kind of had our own little like mini group on the team. You know, we all didn't really play that much. I think I played like 5-10 minutes a game. Dave and Dan got a few minutes a game here and there. So it was all like we were all just having fun, really. I actually played.
Sure. That's what it's about. Like, at the end of the day, like, honestly, I don't remember none of, like, half the basketball stuff I did. The things that I remember are, like, the memories, like, the funny stuff that went on in practice, like, coach wilding out on us. Like, that's when I talk to my friends from college or I talk to my friends from high school, that's what we talk about. We never talk about the wins and losses. Like, the biggest thing is always the memories. Like, those are the best. Like, like the hotel rooms, the locker rooms, you know what I mean? Like the fights, like those are the best. Those are the best parts. So, like what you guys got going on, like I love it. Like you guys been together since high school. You guys are together in college. That's my favorite thing, and you guys are still connected.
Yeah, no, I would definitely say like our memories and us four staying together. I think it was at the hoop hall trip, the one you're talking about, right, Nick?
Yeah, I think
in
so.
Arizona. That was when like us four really got like super close. And then,
That's
I mean, we
cool.
were already close, but like just on that trip and us four, and it was just like that trip was probably one of my favorite trips I've ever gone on, like in my whole life. Just that weekend was awesome. Caleb, I wanted to ask you about you playing at the Division II level. If there's one thing or even a couple things that you want people to know more about playing at that level, what would those be?
That level ain't no joke. Like, people think that level is sweet. It's really not. Like the competition, like in the Mountain East Conference, like it's high level basketball. You got to think we had West Liberty in our conference. I think West Liberty just made it to the national championship game, right? For Division II, we had West Liberty in our conference. We had like West Virginia State. Who else was in our conference? We had Notre Dame College, who they had the National Player of the Year. We had Concord University. They had one of the leading scorers in the country. Like most of these guys that were in our conference can play Division I basketball, no question. In our conference, none of the Division I programs wanted to have exhibitions against our teams in our conference. Like no one wanted to play us because like if you play them in an exhibition, it's like, man, like it's high level basketball at the Division II level. And then I think once I graduated, most of those guys, they went on. Some of the guys in our conference, they transferred to Division I programs. What's the dude name at? I think he's at Charleston now. Bolin. The dude was playing with a patch on his eye, he was at West Liberty, giving everybody buckets. Like it's like you have to shut one eye. Like, yo, put your hand in his other eye. He still makes everything. They average like 108 points per game. They just shot it, press. Like it's high level basketball at the Division II level. I think most people forget about that. I just feel like the athleticism is the biggest difference from the Division I and the Division II level. And then from Division II to Division III, I'll say the athleticism too. But it's highly skilled. Everybody does the same thing. Practices are the same hours. You get the same treatment, whatever. But I just feel like it's just like budgeting, I would say. But it's still high level basketball. These dudes can hoop. It's a bunch of pros at the Division II level. Like I think it's great. You know what I mean? What's your thoughts on it?
I've seen a little bit of like the high level. In my opinion, like Division I basketball. I played JUCO for 2 years too at CSN. They're in, I think it's Region 8, if I remember correctly, with CSI, Salt Lake. We played against all those teams.
That conference is tough too.
Yeah, that's where we played.
Is real tough.
Yeah, we actually beat our best win. Then when I was there, we beat CSI when they were like third in the country or something. It was a crazy win. But
that conference, and then the conference with Trinity Valley, the Texas conference, that conference, Paris, like all those schools are real cool.
Yeah,
and Kansas JUCOs are real good too.
So I think like same kind of thing, like people really overlook it, and I think same thing with JUCO is like JUCO has a ton of guys who had D1 potential, or like where like their grades weren't right, or they had some stuff going on in their life where they couldn't go D1. So I think another like level of basketball that gets overlooked is JUCO. Same kind of like what you were saying with Division II.
And I think like with the new world, the transfer portal and the NIL deal, like all of that stuff really gets overlooked. But Division II basketball is like, even Division III basketball, even in the NAIA basketball, like all those levels, this high level basketball, these dudes are really talented. It's not enough space for everybody at the Division I level. You know what I mean? It's just a different beast. But I think at that level, Division II level is real good. That's my thoughts on it.
You talked about your time at Sterling College. You said, I actually read a little bit about you, did some homework. You actually were responsible for a lot of like doing a lot of film stuff, practice breakdowns, player development, things like that. How hard was it to deal with all of that stuff, early on?
Honestly, to me, like anything to do with basketball, I don't think it's a work day for me. Like that's something I love to do. That's something I'm passionate about. Like I would like I tell people this all the time. I ain't got no plan B. Like I'll die doing this. Like basketball is like my favorite thing to study, watch, play. Like I love being around the game. I would say it was a little bit challenging because you don't have a big staff like you do at the Division 1 level. Like it was just the head coach, me, and then we had like 2 volunteer assistants like that worked on campus. That one of them was our AT, and the other one was the head golf coach. So it was pretty much just me and the head coach, and we like I did it like everything, like working out the girls. Like we're not like I worked them out every single day, and at the NAIA level you have like a JV program. So I'm sitting there working out 25 girls every single day. So it was a bit challenging to me, but it was definitely good for my experience to learn to like to grasp on different learn how to work with different positions. Because when I grew up, I played the point guard position, so I only knew like the guard spot. Obviously, I knew like stuff that bigs did, but I never really like got to work with bigs. You know what I mean? But being there, I got to actually sit down, like sponge it up, and learn how to work with different positions. So that was like one of the best things for me. Like breaking down film, I already knew how to do that a little bit from learning from my coaches in college because I knew I wanted to coach. Like I'm 5 foot nothing. I'm like I'm not about to play basketball forever. So I was like I know what I wanted to coach, so I had to learn it real quick. I didn't think the film part was challenging, like the scouting part was challenging. The biggest thing was like how to relay the message to different players. You know what I mean? So I think that was my biggest challenge.
I also, speaking of, I know you talked a little bit about
before you start. You said you did your homework. What you find? What you dig up?
Read some articles. Just read some articles.
Man, but go ahead, D.
No, I was just gonna ask you about why did you specifically choose a career on the women's side of the game? What was something that maybe resonated with you that made you decide to go down that path?
Good question. I feel like the women's game is growing. As you can see, like the viewership is up. But for me, I feel like I can use my voice being on the women's side, being a black man on the women's side. I can empower these women and like advocate for them for the next level. Like just be that person for them. You know what I mean? Like what was it? 9.9 million views. Like women's basketball is exciting, and everyone needs to tune in. You know what I mean? Like it's high level. They're skilled. They're athletic. Man, even when I compete with some of our players in practice, like they be busting my ass. Like these girls are really good. You know what I mean? And I think people are just starting to notice now that females are dunking. Everybody's like, oh, maybe it's something that they like. No, females were good for a long time, and I think women's basketball is something I want to be a part of. It's growing. It's going to be one of the best things in the next few years. So that's why I chose women's basketball.
Yeah, no, 100%. I saw this video. I forget who it was. Is a WNBA player from Texas, and she went to like her local LA Fitness, and like the dudes had no clue who she was. They were like running their mouths.
Cooking them.
They were throwing double teams, triple teams. Yes.
I don't think nobody noticed. So I don't know if you guys know who Cappy Pondexter is. So Cappy used to play at Rutgers, and in the summertime she used to go play pickup with the guys. You remember? I don't know if you guys remember Impact Academy. So yeah. she used to play pickup in the summertimes with Sebastian Telfair, and she used to cook. Like if you go on YouTube and type in Cappy Pondexter play against NBA guys, she used to cook them. Like she used to cook them. But like not many people really were like locked in, focused on women's basketball. But now like you got the Caitlin Clarks and you got the Angel Reeses. Now it's like, oh, people are starting to like watch it now. But like women's basketball has been exciting for years. Like players have been like real good. You know what I mean? Like Brittany Griner, like Sue Bird, you got Diana Taurasi. Like all these players have been like high level for a long time. But I'm glad that we're like they're getting the viewership now. Everybody's starting to notice. I feel like they just need to invest more in the women's basketball, especially the WNBA. Like don't get me started on that. Like ain't no way they should be flying no fucking Southwest Airlines.
Yeah,
but we're not gonna get started on that. You know what I mean? Like they should invest into women. If they invest more in the women's basketball, they will definitely get the output out of it for sure.
Yeah, no, I hate seeing like online, you'll have like these bums who got cut from like their JV teams, and they're talking about like, oh, I'd be able to hoop on Sue Bird.
I don't pay them no mind. They just keep talking. Like, but I feel like most NBA guys or college guys or even like people like us, like in the support staff role, we respect women's basketball. You know what I mean? it's just the outside media, like. But I feel like the main people respect women's basketball, which is cool with me. You know what I mean? But I feel like I feel like we can invest more into it. We can definitely invest more into women's basketball for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely funny how you notice the people who are like more involved in the game as you go up the ladder. There's typically more and more respect for it.
Yeah, no, it's usually the people that like don't have basketball experience or aren't actually around the game that want to spread hate, but it's the people that like actually in programs that like the people that actually should have a platform to talk and have credibility, like give credit to women's basketball. So that's what I find like about that.
Absolutely. Man.
And
Absolutely.
Speaking of, I want to give Caitlin Clark her flowers. And this is sort of a topic I want to bring up, and people listening will let us know what you guys think. Is she currently the most dominant collegiate athlete? Because I think the argument's there.
Ooh, is Caitlin Clark the most dominant?
Not all time, but like present day right now in college.
Absolutely. We're in the same conference. Absolutely. Like Caitlin is unmatched. Like her talent is like the shots that she be making. Like her IQ is like it's like I said, it's unmatched. Like if you guys ever watched from like how when she grabs a rebound and gets up the court, like think about being the team that has to scout her. Like she is like legit. Like that whole team is really incredible. Like I think she's the most dominant basketball player right now, in my opinion. I don't think who's putting up a 41 triple double.
I was just about to say.
Like, to be honest, who's like Paige? I think Paige is up there with her, but 41 triple double, like, come on now, like that's different. I don't know too many people doing that. She got my respect this year for sure.
Like I feel like you could plant her on like most D1 women's teams, and she would instantly turn them into a Final Four contender. Instantly.
Absolute. Like the way she fun story. I was Caitlin Clark for Scout for this year. Not too many people know that. I was Caitlin Clark for Scout for when we prepped for Iowa. And the stuff that when I watched her film and the stuff that she did, I tried to emulate that. Man, I can't do none of that. Like how she like 2-3 dribbles, pulls it from the logo, her getting to the cup, like putting in her left hand, like step back off the three with the left hand. Everything is just silk. Like silk. I'm like, man, trying to emulate that, going and like doing defensive transition drills, it's hard. Like the stuff that she does is like, it's high level. It's pro. She's definitely a high level pro, no question. And I feel like once she gets to the league, the viewership of the league is gonna skyrocket. Like I just read something the other day, like Iowa women's basketball paused their ticket sales because like, it's outrageous right now. You know what I mean? Like she has it. Hats off to her. She had a phenomenal year. Great things are coming for her for sure.
You know, one thing I noticed in her game, just watching the NCAA tournament games, was like when you're in the position that she's in, she could force up shots. She could like play however she wants because she's Caitlin Clark. Like she is the best player in women's college basketball, but she didn't force anything. Absolutely.
Some people be like they question some of her shot making, like her shot selections. But look at the percentages. She's shooting like over 40%. Like how many shots she shot? Like what was it, like 15 for 30? Don't quote me on this. It was like 15 for 31 or something like that. Like
yeah, it was.
She's high level. Like she's shooting at a high percentage. So you can shoot those all day on my team. I don't care. You know what I mean? So she's putting up the numbers. She's keeping them in. You gotta look when she was not in the game, when she was in foul trouble. Like it's a big difference when Caitlin's not on the floor. Once you're able to take her out the game, even with Monica Sonano's, like she's a high level basketball player too. Like she's an All-American. If you can get the ball up, I don't want to tell too much on it. Yeah, like I said, they're high level. I forgot we're in the same conference. We got to play them next year, so yeah, they're high level. That's a high level basketball team. We definitely respect the University of Iowa. I definitely respect Coach Bluter. One of my mentors is actually on their staff, Raina Harmon. She's high level too, so I definitely respect what they got going on over there for sure.
Yeah, definitely can't be giving out the game plan too much. That was a good catch.
I almost got into details and stuff. I was like, wait, hold on, we have to play him again. I gotta come back. Yeah. So yeah,
but
she's the most dominant. She's the most dominant.
Yeah, no, 100%. And then one question we like to ask people sort of in leadership roles that we have on the podcast is, what would you recommend, whether it's to players or managers or neither, people who are trying to become GAs and get into coaching? What's maybe one piece of advice that you got that's helped you along the way?
The biggest piece of advice I've got was, like, never stop learning. Don't think you know too much. Even when you think you know it all, you don't know it. There's always room to grow. Always like learn from different people, no matter what level they're at. There's high level like IQ basketball players everywhere. And the biggest thing for me was network. Like, you can't do too much networking. Like, everywhere you go, meet somebody, whether like it's like a support staff role, a manager. You never know. You never know who's gonna hire you someday, especially if you want to get in this game. It's hard to get jobs in this business. You know what I mean? Networking and following up. Like, always follow up with someone. Like, ask them how their day is going. Ask them if you can help them with something, even though they don't need your help. Just still ask them. The biggest thing is to network. So that's my suggestion.
Yeah, no, 100%. Love that. That's a common answer we get a lot. Networking. It's all about who you know.
Yeah, and who knows you. Like, you can know all the people in the world. It's like when it comes down to it, it's like, oh, when was the last time this person hit me up? You know what I mean? So that's the biggest key. It's got me where I'm at today. And I feel like being able to network is next level. It'll definitely help you bridge those, like, just get over that hump. You know what I mean? So. And it doesn't matter what level that person's at, as long as you can be able to talk to them and learn, or even give them advice. Like, that's the biggest thing for me. Networking.
And then before we get wrapped up here, is there any questions you have for us, or maybe things you just want to say to the viewers in general? If not, it's all good.
What's your favorite thing? So I never got to take the manager route. I think it's definitely a cool gig. What's the biggest thing what's your favorite part about being a manager?
Dan, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, I will. I think obviously that there's parts of being a manager that aren't, flashy or pretty, but that's the gig. But overall, it's a really great gig, and I'm grateful to have it at such like a big school. At least for me, one thing that I've noticed that like I have that like the players don't have is the like relationship, like the comfortable relationships I have between them and the coaches. You're kind of in that position where it is difficult because, when you have the choice of having to side with one or the other, you're going to side with the coach because that's kind of the decision you have to go with. But to have, players have different relationships with their coaches than the managers do. The managers, like coaches, are able to actually like talk to you about stuff that they're not able to talk to the players about. And that's one thing that I think people don't really realize with managers is like, at least for the position that I'm in, like coaches or assistant coaches are able to like talk to me about stuff. Say, what do you think here? They can't ask a player that. So I think just that kind of relationship, and then having relationships with the guys, it's just such a like, you're in a really good spot being a manager
for sure,
because you can learn so much.
I feel like you guys are definitely in unique positions too. Like, you're in the Big Ten and you're in the Pac-12, and being at that high level, you see it from all different angles. Like, you guys have a variety of different coaches. I assume you guys probably have like 7 to 10 people on your staff, so you get to learn from different people. You get to see high level basketball. You see pros every day. So I think that's dope for you guys, and you guys keep the program running. Like, managers keep I respect the hell out of managers, because like if it's not for you guys, like there's like, you know what I mean? Like, you guys keep the program running, which is, I respect, like I said, I respect you guys, and you guys are like doing a good job. So like, I applaud that for sure.
Yeah, if I had to give a answer to that, sort of bouncing off Danny, I've been this way since I was a kid. I just love, part of my language, the fucking grittiness that comes with being a manager. Because it's like, I always love hoops, but like you said, I'm 5'0", was average athleticism at best. So it's like, I knew like beyond high school, it wasn't for me, but I always prided myself on being sort of an IQ type person. So I always knew I wanted to get into coaching. But I like how, being a manager, it's literally like you're getting out the mud. I mean, in the Big Ten, you're unloading and loading 50-pound bags in the buses in a snowstorm in East Lansing. Man, you're going in at 6 a.m.
I applaud you guys. You guys, like our managers here, they work their tails off. Like you're in there rebounding for players early morning. Some guys like to shoot early, like 4 a.m. So I definitely applaud you guys for sure. And it's no different. It's no different for me being a GA. I'm doing the same shit. Like we're doing the same shit. We're unloading the bus. We're loading the bus. We're rebounding for girls. We're like, I'm in the gym all day. Like, but that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. And like, you no one can take that from you. Like, look, I've done this, and you can't tell me nothing. You know what I mean? So, I respect you guys for sure.
Yeah, you definitely have to love what you're doing, and also like sort of like the brotherhood I have with the other managers. Because I mean, if you're not somewhat crazy and hardworking and driven, like this shit's not for you. Like people think it's all, you get to chill with the team and get gear. Like, nah, it's nothing like that.
It ain't no shits and giggles, man. Especially if you want to win, you definitely got to put in that time. My question for you guys is, if you had an ideal place to work at, what would be your dream school to work at?
Any school.
Any school.
I don't discriminate. Any school that gives me a job. That's my answer.
My answer is Oregon, right where I'm at right now. That's very normal. It's Oregon.
Cut that piece out and send it to your
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I would definitely say just focused on Ohio State right now in my senior year, but we have a great staff. So if any of our assistants ever did branch off and Ohio State wasn't the place for me to stay beyond being a manager, our whole staff, I mean, Coach Nettie, Owens, Diebler, Kellogg, and Holtman, they're all just phenomenal people. So I'd be blessed to follow any of them in whatever they do.
Yeah, I love that. Sure.
But yeah, I mean, this was a great episode. Appreciate you, Caleb. Definitely going to have to tune into that Lady Buckeyes and Fighting Illini games next year. My heart's going to be torn now.
Man, listen. We need that win.
Yeah. Hey, JC Sheldon's a problem, though. JC Sheldon's a problem.
We're not going to get into scouting stuff. You're trying to get me here, man. You're trying to get me here. Ohio State women's basketball program is a great basketball program. I can't wait to play it next year for sure. Big Ten women's basketball is very exciting. In my opinion, it's the best women's basketball conference in the country. I might get some backlash for this, but who cares? Everybody can argue with their mothers. This is the best conference in the country right now. So I'm excited.
I'd have to agree. Men's, women's, just basketball in general. That's what the Big Ten is for.
Were you at our game when we played Ohio State at Ohio State this past year? Were you at the game?
This year, no, I wasn't at that one. I go to a lot of them. I wasn't at that one though.
We almost had one on the road, man.
Yeah,
they got it.
If we don't have anything going on, they'll all 100% be there next year.
Nah, for sure. Can't wait, man. But I appreciate you guys for having me. This is definitely exciting. If you guys need me back on here again, I'm welcome to come back anytime.
100%. It'll be fun maybe in like a year or two here once everyone, we're all GAs and you're an assistant or doing whatever you're doing. It'll be fun to do like a get back together.
No, for sure, 100%. Yep. But I love what you guys doing. Don't stop what you're doing. Keep doing it. Do it at the best of your abilities. Do it at a high level, and don't let nobody tell you shit. And just keep grinding, for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But this was a great episode, and Nick, why don't you do it as always?
PPP out. Peace.
Peace.